What does global drums mean to me? It means everything to me. I want to learn it all. I want to experience it all, and I just love so much what I'm doing right now that I can't help but feel like this is the best instrument in the world when I'm playing it. Global Drums started basically as soon as I got up here. I know you all are thinking, boy, he has a strong Fort McLeod accent, but I'm actually from West Virginia. But my wife is from here, and we had been up a couple times to visit and did recitals, and they recruited us to come and join the music faculty, and best move ever. World music has been such an important part of my life, and I wanted to share that with the students here. So we've done a lot of traveling around the world, learning from great masters, and have gone around and performed around the world as well. But as much as we give when we go, we get so much more back. So we learn music from different cultures, get the instruments, and bring them back here and start up the ensemble. And then we keep it going by bringing in guest artists from those regions of the world and teach us new repertoire and teach us more about what the music's about, the cultural side, the historical side. It's not just about play this note now. No, it's about the whole learning process, the performance process. It's just a deep dive into the culture. So that involves going over there and learning from those folks and being with those folks and seeing, what life is like over there. So it has just been an absolutely amazing experience with Global Drums here.
We have both been involved in Global Drums for years and years now. I would have started when I started my percussion degree at the University of Lethbridge, which would have been 2007? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you were already here a couple years before that.
I joined the group. We weren't even called Global Drums yet, I don't think, and I started in 2005. Oh yes, we met here.
Yeah.
Yes, I started before him, but I started playing in the steel band.
So it would have been your third year studying flute, my first year studying percussion, and we were both in the steel band, so that's how we met. For me, I had played percussion in high school. In high school band, I played classical percussion, and I wanted to continue that in university. And most university music programs, if you study percussion, you're either studying classical percussion instruments, so what you would see in an orchestra, timpani, snare drum, keyboard percussion instruments, four-mallet marimba, stuff like that. Or there's some college programs that focus on jazz drum set. Right. But most post-secondary schools, if you're studying percussion, it's one of those focuses, like classical or orchestral percussion, or specifically drum set. And Adam Mason has just built this incredible program here where we still study all those classical things that you would at any other university, but there's this huge world music component with the African drumming and dancing, the Caribbean steel band, Japanese taiko drumming, Brazilian samba drumming, Polynesian log drumming, and it's been so cool because we've gained all of this insight into different kinds of drumming from around the world, you know. And I think if you're talking about employable skills, it's great because it's pretty hard to make a living as a classical percussionist or like any kind of a musician. So having all of these different kind of skill sets has allowed us to play with a lot of different groups and teach in a lot of different settings. But more than that, it's just given us this love of music from around the world, and not just the music. Like Adam makes sure that we're learning about the people and the culture as we do it. You know, as you're studying African drumming, we're not just like, okay, these are the right notes to play, these are the wrong notes to play. You're learning some differences between how we approach music in North America, you know, primarily as a performance art, and whereas in an African village, the music might be more about the process of bringing a community of people together. And Adam gets to bring some of those cultural values to us here in Lethbridge, which is like, where else would you find that? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, so Global Drums is actually just a part of the percussion degree here. It's tied in with our percussion ensemble. Classical percussion members meet on Tuesday night, and our community Global Drums meet on Thursdays. And ever since first rehearsal, you know, we meet in a circle. We all introduce each other, ourselves rather, and man, it's you're a part of the family right off the bat. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
I am Taylor Murphy. I am a recent graduate of the percussion program, and I've been in Global Drums for about 8-9 years now, coming up on 9 years. And I'm kind of a vet in the program.
Yeah.
I was a percussion major, so it was always part of the curriculum. But I had a percussion background in high school, like I did the drumline in Calgary, and we came down and did an Experience Fine Arts Day with Adam, and he did an African drumming workshop with us, and kind of introduced us to Global Drums and what they do, and I just fell in love with it. So I'm like, oh, I gotta go to university here, gotta study with Adam, be part of Global Drums.
To Lethbridge because the music program is a lot better, especially the percussion program. All thank you to Adam Mason. Yeah, he has just like built such an amazing program here, and I really wanted to join it. Mount Royal didn't have the music side of things, but they did have the education. So when I transferred for the music, and I actually, like I said, I came a semester early before starting like my music degree. And Adam was so encouraging. He like met with me and my mom a couple months before I came here. He was like, yeah, like come and join Global Drums. It'll be so fun. I can't wait to have you. Yeah, he was very on top of just like, be in my group. Yeah.
Come in.
Yeah, he's like, you are now in my little whatever family. So yeah, it was very accepting and very welcoming. And so it was all just basically Adam. Like, yeah.
Part of the balance, like I said, comes with just being here and doing your part for the group. A lot of your social time, a lot of your practice, you're surrounded by musicians, your peers, people you really care about all the time. So it makes it that much easier when you're close and connected to everyone. It can be challenging at times, like anything. But I think what makes it all worth it is the group atmosphere. You know, Thursday night, it all goes away, all the rough times that we face as students, as our community members. They have lives, and they come here and they get to decompress and play music with each other, which I think is so cool and so important.
Global Drums has grown in a sense that we definitely take on a lot more community members. At least I've seen the group itself has grown to numbers that I've only seen in recent years. Like, we've become such a big community group. People from all walks of life come and join the group, and it's definitely grown in the last 8 years that I've seen it.
Being a member of Global Drums, I think first and foremost, I think you're going to hear me say this a lot. It's a family. We get to share and be a part of each other's lives for a little bit. And I think most people will agree that if you're in Global Drums, you meet some great friends and you become very personal with them. And you're able to share, again, not just the music, but life. And it's really refreshing to come in here on Thursday night and see people chatting before rehearsal and after rehearsal and sticking around, going to Dairy Queen after or something, you know? So it's really nice, yeah.
One of the things that I'm most proud of is that the students here, essentially, they make their own way. These instruments that we've gotten and the travel that we've done, all the overseas travel, they've mainly raised that themselves. So they all have a lot of pride and ownership in what they do, and they know that it takes initiative and you've got to make your own way. And we've had some very generous folks as well that have donated sets of instruments for us because they believe in what we do. And we've also had some very generous corporations and grant institutions like the Community Grant and that have also enabled us to get things going, to get sets of instruments that are usually, those expenses are usually the biggest hurdle. But basically we go out and, we'll perform at a couple festivals that raise some money, and that will buy the next set of instruments, or that will bring in the next guest artist. So the students have to go out and perform at a professional level. So that involves a lot of work, and once again, that brings that initiative and that pride of ownership, and they're, learning the skills that they need for when they get out of school. Our folks don't just graduate and wait for the thing to drop out of the sky. No, I try to get them all going before they even graduate on a professional level. So,
being part of Global Drums, because we travel a lot, I love getting the chance to see the world, see different cultures, different opportunities, see the different ways that people do things and do music specifically, like different world drumming in different cultures. That's easily my favorite part of the group.
We cover so much in Global Drums, and we've traveled so many places. In my first and second years, I was super fortunate to join the group to Hong Kong, and then also to Taiwan the following year, with the U of L Wind Orchestra. So we've had some really crazy, outrageous trips, lots of things happening, lots of performing. We performed at some university and colleges in Taiwan, but also at a middle school. I can't remember off the top of my head, but one of the coolest experiences is playing steel pan in this middle school band room, and we were playing Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it was just packed. Of course, this was pre-COVID, and everyone's like just basically moshing in this tiny little band room, and there's like a 20-person steel band, drum sets blaring, and everyone was just jumping around having a great time, and that stuck with me for quite a while, for sure.
I do have to say it hasn't all been easy.
Yeah, I mean the last couple of years have been hard for sure. I think for everyone, but especially the students. who are studying here currently?
It's building the program here. At first was letting me do my thing, and just loved that. Was just and just saw the concepts and saw the group just explode with success. But the challenge that things that come down the road, the bumps in the road, have been things like, okay, there's very limited funding now, and so we had an administrator say, okay, well, we're taking support away from the performing groups and putting it more towards whatever they wanted to do, more towards, say, the academic side. So it wasn't like, oh, you guys are bad. It was just, no, these are their priorities, and the funding dried up, so the only way to make those things succeed was to kind of chop off the performing side, and so like half the performing ensembles were just cut, and the small amount of support that we would get from the department, that all went away.
With budget cut after budget cut, the music department has had to like tighten its belt and do some things differently. And then COVID happened.
COVID was honestly a really, really tough one, and I feel like that's probably something that a lot of people say, but we were, for the first time ever, not able to rehearse in this room together. We had to rehearse from our bedrooms or from our kitchens at home, and like people were just being as creative as possible to mimic the instruments as best they could, or they would come to the school and they'd borrow the instruments, or I actually had to like move back to Calgary, and I basically turned my mom's house into like a music studio. Like I was like, all right, so my drum kit is going in this room, and my marimba's going in that room, and okay, I've got one low tom, and that's my taiko drum, like stuff like that. So it was a lot of just making things work, and a lot of, obviously there's a huge learning curve, because not only did we do Global Drums on Zoom, but we also did like our classical percussion on Zoom, and so it was straight up like somebody would play with their like mics unmuted, and then everyone else would just follow that person. It would just rotate, or we'd have like a click track, and then Adam would just watch and visually see if we lined up, and that's how we did that piece. It was insane, and it was a hard piece too. Like it was impressive actually, like how people managed to make it work over COVID, like having to learn how to run an entire ensemble of world music over Zoom, I think, and the creative things that Adam did to make it work.
There was a time where Global Drums couldn't meet in person, and so we were rehearsing on Zoom, which sounds like a terrible idea, but it kind of worked. We would all be on the Zoom meeting in different locations with our instrument, and Adam would be like, okay, everyone's gonna mute except Matt. You unmute, play your part starting at measure 23, and everyone else is gonna turn your speaker up loud and play along. And then, okay, good, now you can mute yourself. Now you over there, you're gonna unmute and play your part over here. And it was really weird, but it actually accomplished everything that a rehearsal should accomplish, because we had to not just play our own part, but listen to someone else and relate my part to someone else's part. But you also had the pressure of the director is going to hear you play your part, and you need to have it prepared and be able to do it. So that was really weird, but it worked better than I thought it would. And then there was a semester where just current students could rehearse in person, and now we've been back with some precautions in place and stuff. But it's just every semester or several times a semester things have changed. And I think especially for the students who are here all day, every day, 5+ days a week, there's just been so many ups and downs that the ground keeps moving underneath them. But they're here every day practicing, and they're like fighting through it despite all the challenges thrown at them. So.
Most challenging part of being in the group, honestly, that's a difficult question because, yeah, we've had our ups and downs as a group, but you know, most of the difficulty of being in Global Drums actually comes throughout the year as we're rehearsing. It's the hardest part is the standard and the level that we always strive to hit every semester, every year, no matter what. Especially this past year with COVID, with other factors, it's been really student-led, with so much leadership from so many different people. Our community members, our student leaders, other members of the exec team just really stepping up and taking a really crucial role in always pushing forward and meeting that standard. There's really, Adam really kicks our butts. There's no room for subpar. It's you're either at the mark or nothing. And it's always about giving the best performance for our community that we built here. We really try and sell out audiences as much as we can, and we try to perform outside of the university as much as we can because, again, it's all about the community. But like I said, I think the biggest challenge is just meeting that standard no matter what.
I made a promise to the students, we are not going to let that affect us one little bit. In fact, I would love it. I know you older students know what's going on, but I'm going to consider this successful if most people have no idea any of this stuff even happened. And so we had been making our own way, and so we continue to make our own way. And so even though priorities shifted, I did not let that take 1 ounce of quality or whatever. I did not let it take anything from the quality of the experience the students get here. So no matter what big bumps we've run into, that has been my top priority of I will not diminish the quality of the experience because I owe that to my students. They come here with their hopes and dreams, and they work their butts off, and they sacrifice for each other, and they're working towards the future. I'm not going to let anything get in their way. I want to get them to launch, and I'm not going to let anything delay that or diminish that. What does Global Drums mean to me? It means everything to me, really.
I can't even wrap that up in a statement because I can't imagine the course of my life without Global Drums because it has literally changed the direction that my life has gone in like a huge way. I don't know where I would be, but I wouldn't be here. But Global Drums introduced me first to the steel pan, and then it just kind of more broadly to a love of percussion, so that I ended up completing my bachelor's degree in both flute and percussion. And then I actually, in our master's degrees, we both studied percussion. And And Global Drums gave me a love for performing music from around the world, and that's what I do now. That's what we both do. And I don't know where I would be. Maybe I'd be teaching band or something, but that is not a future that I can envision at this point. So yeah, I can't begin to really say what Global Drums has done for me, because something that maybe seemed insignificant or just seemed like something that I started doing for fun on the side ended up turning my life in a completely different direction. So for me, it's been extremely formative.
Oh man, Global Drums means a lot to me. I'm actually the secretary on the executive team, and I have been for 2 years, as well as this semester I've sort of taken a bigger role as well, just helping out Adam a lot and with the scheduling and all that kind of thing. And it's literally become my family. Like, all of the percussion majors are always, pretty much always in it, and so it's just an environment that we just get to have fun and make music on unusual instruments that people don't always know. And so it's really fun getting to tell people that.
Global Drums means to me the coming together of all of our studies, all of our skills, all of our efforts, where we put them to practice, whether it's studying history or theory or culture or language, all those things all roll into one amazing package to me when we come together as Global Drums. And that really is where we learn to be a family, where we learn to lift each other up, and where we learn community, sense of community. That's so crucial. There are a lot of music programs that prepare you for the cutthroat world of music. It's not cutthroat, but it is very competitive. It's tough to make a living as a musician. But those programs are teaching their kids, you've got to be better than that person. You've got to beat that person. You've got to win against that person. But I'm teaching just the opposite.
All credit to Adam Mason for just building this amazing program, but on top of that, just investing so much in the people and the relationships, right? Like, Adam's not just making a musical ensemble to play this piece at this performance. He really invests in the people in the group, and he's brilliant at seeing areas where people are really skilled or really interested in a particular area and giving them some kind of ownership or leadership of that area and helping them bring that aspect to life, and then finding other areas where people are struggling and pairing them up with people who can help them through a certain thing, and he really invests so much in the people in the group.
Well, we've tried really hard to create a culture of percussion in Alberta, and we've done that with Percussive Arts Society, and had all these events where we've brought percussionists together from all different walks of life, and we do this event once a year, and it always ends the same way. The artists that we feature and bring in, they say, "Oh, I had no idea that she was just on the other side of town and doing all this amazing stuff, and I've been wanting to do a project that involves that. So now we've already talked and we're already gonna do this project." So building the community is really where it's at. And that's what we try to do with Global Drums as a microcosm for that. And they go out, and then when they go to their communities, our former students are doing that, and it's just expanding and expanding. And so, like I say, Global Drums, it's everything to me. So, hey, if you're interested, you would like to inquire about a performance, or you would like to come and play with us, because we have community members from all walks of life come in and play with us on Thursday evenings, give me a call. And you can email me at adam.mason@uleth.ca or call me at 403-892-DRUM, which is 3786. So 892-DRUM, give me a call, come and play with us, come join our family.